I like cranking my Doucette till I CO2 max. I like eating my sequel bar when I'm hungrier than last time. He's even teaching me how to cook. No matter what I took, it made me feel like I've got the look.
Coach Greg, in today's video, Sam Sulek expands on his collaborations, and this time, none other than multi-Olympia champion Jay Cutler, who's looking kind of fly. Jay Cutler has clearly done things right. Bro is 50 years of age and looks impeccable. A keen businessman and also on the lookout to helping the next generation. And so what's most shocking in this video is that Jay Cutler reached out to Sam. Sam Sulek has reached such a level at this game that Olympia champions are reaching out to him and not the other way around. And not only that, perhaps the most important part of this video is Jay Cutler critiques Sam Sulek's physique. But is Sam Sulek prepared to hear Jay Cutler's harsh evaluations? And so as I'm recording this, it's number 22 on trending. And so certainly all the peeps of the world, they want to Sam their Suleks and Jay their Cutlers. We made the right guy famous, the number one comment, and I do believe so. Can you think of anyone better to reach this kind of fame, notoriety, than Sam Sulek?
I hate the term warm up because when it's 150 degrees in Vegas, I'm warm, right?
Jay makes a great point. It's very hot in Vegas, and so is it really a warm-up? Well, here's the difference. A warm-up is to increase the temperature of the body. You get a light sweat. But even if you already have a light sweat, it's still important to warm up that specific muscle. When you do that movement, you're preparing your mind-muscle connection. If you simply jump to your heaviest set without properly warming up, you're not going to be as strong. It takes time for the brain to properly engage the muscle's motor units. Jay does a couple sets with 2 plates on each side before going to his heavier set of 3 plates. But the main point is this: please warm up. Don't jump to your heaviest warm-up set. The more you have practice and the higher reps that you're doing during your workout, the less warm-ups you need to do. And so, for example, I only need 1 warm-up set. And so when I'm doing incline chest such as this, I will do the same thing. I'll do 2 plates on each side for perhaps 15 repetitions, and then add some more weight and go till failure. But my failure reps are 12 reps and beyond. If you're doing very heavy sets, for example, 5 repetitions, you need to warm up more.
Come on. Up. Oh, yeah.
Look at the effort on this set. Jay Cutler's assisting Sam doing force repetitions. And so all the people thinking, 1 to 3 reps in reserve. I don't understand the mentality of people thinking less is more. More is more. If you're a beginner, it's fine. You don't have to go to failure. But if you're at Sam Sulek's level, you're perhaps in training for several years, you want to be a professional bodybuilder, you need to push yourself to failure when training in the gym.
It's probably 2 minutes. But something like this, a really heavy one, probably 2-3 minutes. Enough time to just feel my heart get back to normal.
And so how long are they resting between sets? Well, it depends. On a smaller muscle group, like for example, the triceps, it might be as fast as a minute. But if it's a larger muscle group, they're training really heavy, it's perhaps 2 or 3 minutes. What's important is that you feel ready. If you're not resting long enough, the weights are going to be far lighter and you can't push as heavy a load. And I'm not talking about what you did last night on your woman's stomach. What? And notice how Jay is leaving his ego at the door. He doesn't need to show off. He's not going to put the same weight as Sam Sulek. He's going to use 3 plates. Sam is going to use 4. It's important to do your reps properly to really feel and engage the muscle. And so in combination with training hard, science-based training, as in training scientifically, it does in fact make sense. You can do both. Incorporate the scientific principles of training, full range of motion, and so on with training with effort and purpose.
I just use it as a common number. Yeah. I tried not to do more than 12, if that makes sense.
Nice.
8 to 12 is always my...
Jay mentions 12 reps is normally my goal, but in reality, it's 8 to 12. You don't stop at set number. If you're saying, I'm going to do 3 sets of 12, and you get 3 sets of 12, that means you did 3 sets that were, in my opinion, easy. If you actually got the 3 sets of 12, then on the first set of 12, you probably could have gotten 15. And so rather than thinking 12 reps, that's the goal, think I want to fail between 8 and 12. Have a goal, top end. If everything goes right, I'll get to 12. But if you don't and you stop at 9, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's probably too heavy.
And so notice Sam Sulek, it was a little bit too heavy. Previously said, hey, I'll go for 4 plates a side, and if it's a little bit too heavy, I'll drop it to 3 plates in a 25. He got 8 repetitions, but 2 of those repetitions were forced, and so in reality, he could only get 6. That is too heavy. He realizes this, and so perhaps because he's training with Jay Cutler, he's feeling that extra motivation. He's putting on too much of a weight. Much better to lower the weight, 3 plates in a 25, and get the 8 to 12 repetitions on your own. And if at that point you want to do more, you're at 8 reps or more, nothing wrong with getting Jay to spot you going past failure.
It's hard not to utilize it because I'm like fighting my.
You know what's happening?
instinct.
This is what happens when you start to struggle. We talk about that, right?
And so you can see there's nothing wrong with training scientifically. Science says to use proper form. But science also says to train to failure. Remember, 1 to 3 reps in reserve, that's okay for your beginners and intermediates. But once you're truly advanced, you need to push yourself harder than, guess what? Harder than friggin' last time.
Just gotta stay hard, brother!
Now, don't forget, if you're having a hard time getting harder than last time, you can purchase harder than last time. But if you're having a hard time going hard in the gym, pick up GO2 Max and Turkesterone. You know all about it. It's Turkesterone straight from Uzbekistan. I may be pushing 50. Jay Cutler's 51. I'm 49. But I got close to 50 keys of Turkesterone across the border. And so if you want the good stuff, remember, it's not banned by WADA. You won't fail a drug test, and it has a money-back guarantee. You know what to do. Get to the Harder Than Last Time website and use code Greg for 15% off.
You like getting yelled at?
No, because I never trained with a partner. Well, you know what it is? You're yelling at yourself inside. You're in this place by yourself. Who's yelling at you?
I 100% agree with this. For the vast majority of my training career, I did in fact train alone. I don't get motivated by somebody yelling at me. If you need somebody to yell at you to get that extra rep, then you just don't want it bad enough. I want it bad enough, and it comes from within. It's intrinsic. The internal rage that you feel, kind of like Mike Gisertel doing hamstring curls. He's thinking about the fact that he never won his pro card because he never had a 10. He's also thinking about, hey, I want to last more than 18 seconds when I'm having sexy time. And so, sorry, Mike, but most people don't have to imagine horrific things or speak in Russian to themselves in order to motivate themselves to do a set in the gym.
Man, it'd be cool to like fight a dog with just your hands.
I just think, how bad do I want it? This is me against me. It's not me against the other people. And so when I'm doing a set, I don't care if it's in the gym doing squats, deadlifts, bench press, or if I'm riding a bike. How bad do you want it? You shouldn't need a bunch of haters or hatred in your life to want to be your best self. And so when people say, hey, remember all the haters, take it out on them in the gym. I don't do any of that. I just think I want to prove to myself that I can do it. And so hopefully you can let that inspire you. Just be your best self. What can you do? Prove it to you. No one else needs to know. Let that be a lesson for all you do in this life. It's not about just when you're training in the gym. It's about when are you studying for an exam, for a test? What about when you're doing your job? When you're trying to be the best person, the best dad, the best father, be the best that you can be and do it for you.
I see some guys talk about it like the music's a crutch.
I mean, it's cool to go to the, like when you're on the way to the gym and you got the music blared up, which you're not doing because you're talking on the way to the gym, right? But
guys, there's nothing wrong with using science to help you train harder as well. Music will help you push your limits. Save your favorite music for when you're going to do your hardest set. When I'm racing the bikes, I like to put on my favorite song when I'm going up that mountain, when I'm ready to hit that sprint. Science proves that you can go harder listening to your favorite song than you can without it. And so, for example, why not blast that famous rap song, Gregging Your Doucette?
I like Gregging my Doucette till I GO2 Max. I like eating my sequel bar when I'm hungrier than last time. He's even teaching me how to cook, no matter what I took. It made me feel like I've got the look.
And so not only that, science also shows that caffeine and other stimulants can also train harder. Push fast failure, get greater endurance. And so supplements like beta-alanine, caffeine, and so on, which are in, of course, the pre-workout 3.0 and other pre-workouts, these are supplements that you can take to push harder than last time. We all know that GO2 Max, who has NMN as well as turkesterone with actual turkesterone from Uzbekistan, can help you push your limits, build more muscle, greater intensity. And so if you're interested in any of these supplements, code Greg, 15% off. Get to the HTLT website right now.
10 rep sets, totally had like 5 left.
Everyone is different but I think you have to choose one.
Here's the thing. If you don't train to failure, you can in fact make up with that for more volume. But one thing you can't do is a lot of volume and train to failure. And so there's more than one way to build muscle. Remember, science doesn't know the answer. All science can do is tell you what studies said. The studies are using athletes, but these athletes are generally soccer players, guys not training for the Mr. Olympia. And so do we know what actually works best for everyone? I don't think so. No matter what the study says, remember this, it depends on that own person's individual response. Everyone's different, and so it depends. Please try to experiment and find out what works best for you.
But you train a lot like Urs. When I train with Urs, a lot of the sets were to failure like that. And I never preferred doing necessarily drop sets as much.
And so Sam Sulek is doing drop sets. He had 4 plates on each side, getting about 4 reps plus several partials, then dropping it to 3 plates, again doing several partials. Jay doesn't like to train like that. He more so prefers doing more volume, but not with the drop sets. Everyone is different. It clearly worked for Jay. He's a multiple Mr. Olympia champion. And so what does this prove? It proves that anything can work. If that's how you want to train, you enjoy it, you're feeling the pump, it motivates you, it's probably going to work. And so stick with what works.
Okay, chest complete. And then the plan is this would be about 10 weeks out or so.
And so the moment you've all been waiting for, Sam Sulek is going to undress and Jay Cutler is going to he's not going to Sam Sulek. He's going to critique his physique.
So you tell me what's jumping out at you.
And Jay is taking it all in. And remember, Jay is a man of his word. He's not going to BS him. He's not going to glaze him. He's going to give him an honest assessment of his physique.
Good.
And so Jay is consistently saying good. He's not saying great. He's not saying amazing. He's not saying I can't believe it. He's saying good.
It's hard holding those.
That's why, you know what we'd practice?
Yeah.
10. Count to 10.
He's saying, look, you're already tired. Hold those poses for 10 seconds. When you're on stage, you can't be getting tired. You need to practice more.
Your condition's decent. Okay, good.
And so what does that mean? Well, with Jay, because he's honest, it literally means that. It's good. It's not bad. It's not horrible, but it's not great. It's somewhere in the middle. In other words, it's okay. He can make it to the show in time. It's not an emergency. It's not back out of the competition, but he needs to up the ante.
You're not in any kind of, oh my gosh, like being 10 weeks out, but yeah, you need to, start turning it up a little bit,
Consider that Sam Sulek has been cutting for over 60 days. He's been on a diet for over 2 months. And now that he's 10 weeks out, he's decent. And so what do you all think of bulking and cutting now? He bulked and cut. He's been cutting for 60 days. That's over 8 weeks. And he still has to cut for 8 more. And he has to turn it up a notch. 18 weeks of dieting. And so how beneficial is bulking really? Yeah, while you're on the bulk, it's easy. You're force feeding, you're taking in extra calories. You feel like you're putting on way more muscle. But once you diet down, once you remove those calories, you're in a deficit. How hard can you train really? And so I don't care what y'all think about the science. The science says that bulking is vaulted. Did you know that? Even the science snitch agrees with Coach Greg. You might have seen Jeff Nippard say, hey, bulk and cut. The truth is you need to maintain. And Jeff Nippard, he knows it. But the problem is people don't understand what maintaining actually is. You're maintaining at a lean body weight of which you can ideally build muscle. And what do you mean by ideal? It means the most optimal body fat percentage for you to build muscle. That's when you mean gain. For some people, it's perhaps 10%. Others, it's 12. Others, it's 15. But it's not over 20. And so if you're already at 20+% body fat, why are you adding in more calories? Oh, but I'm skinny fat. I don't care. If you're already fat, you're fat. If you're over 20% body fat, you don't need any more. You've already bulked. It's time to now slowly lose some body fat and gain. Imagine how hard it's going to be for Sam Sulek to train harder than last time when he's dieting for another 10 weeks. If he finds it hard now, imagine how hard it's going to be when he's eating under 2,000 calories.
Just getting some sort of a sequence. I mean, the body looks good. I mean, your back's your best body part, right?
He's got a Christmas tree going on, and so his back is where it needs to be. But the rest of his physique, it needs to catch up to his back.
That's why conditioning factor. You have enough mass.
Yeah, it's about showing it off.
But you know, it's about conditioning.
Jay and I, we think alike. Many people, they don't want to hear it. When I critique a physique and I'm saying, hey, you need another 4 weeks of dieting, and meanwhile they're a week out. No one wants to hear that. Do you know how hard it is for me to tell somebody who's been dieting for perhaps 4 months that they're not lean enough? To say to Mike Israetel, you need to diet for another 6 weeks. But the show's in a week. I know, but you need 5 extra weeks to get in shape. And no, bro, it ain't the 10. It's not easy to say that. You know it's going to hurt their feelings, but somebody has to be the bearer of bad news.
Thank you, Greg.
And so would you rather have Coach Greg as your trainer telling you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear? Or your fans who are just glazing you, yapping, you're going to win a pro card. You look so amazing. Don't worry about your 10. No, you need to diet. You need to actually get shredded. Stop drinking stinking Gatorade and eating cereal when you're on a diet, Mike. That's how it works. And no, you're not holding on so much water because you used to be fat when you were a child. It's not how it works. And if you need to take diuretics for weeks on end to get in shape for a competition, you're not actually in shape.
So this is where you have to start conditioning the posing now, because posing every day is going to give you that conditioning.
You need the conditioning. It shouldn't be hard to pose. You'll be able to stand there all day. Flex the biceps, pop in the abs. I should be mind blown when I look at your physique. And so if you know somebody's truly ready, when you see them, you can't believe what you're looking at.
You have, what is it? Front lat spread, side, chest, and back double, right? I mean, you don't have as many as a real bodybuilding, but remember.
And so remember, he's competing in classic physique, and so he doesn't need as much size as if he were competing in open bodybuilding. There's a height weight restriction, and so Sam Sulek making the smart choice, competing in classic physique. That way, he doesn't need to abuse the same level of supplements as if he were competing in open.
If the leg's going to be in there, all that, it needs to be everything.
It's a combination of tightness.
Yes. And that midsection, dude, is classic.
He's saying, look, classic, it's all about the tight midsection, having the abs, the conditioning.
That's one thing. If you ever look at a lot of my stuff, dude, at my midsection, I always had crazy midsection, right? Always flat.
Jay's like, look, I'm 51. He lifts up the abs. He's got a six-pack right now. You need to have the abs.
They're going to ask you your favorite posing.
Your favorite classic pose.
Yeah.
I feel like that's almost half. Maybe think about who's next to you.
It doesn't matter who's next to you. You do your best classic pose, the one that makes you look the best. It doesn't matter who's next to you. You're trying to look your best. I don't care who it is next to you. Your best classic pose is your best classic pose.
You're not doing any cardio now?
Like a cardio session.
Hey, you're not doing any cardio now?
No,
All right, I'm just going to say this. Jay Cutler does not watch Sam Sulek. Raise your hand if you don't know that Sam Sulek does 30 minutes of cardio on the bike almost every single day. He almost preaches people to do cardio more than even Coach Greg. Sam Sulek does his cardio.
I thought you were doing nothing. I was
No,
like,
the
okay,
cardio forever.
that's pretty good for just training and whatever.
Yeah. Now there's cardio.
Your back is lean.
And so Jay Cutler thinks that Sam's in this kind of conditioning from just training. He just eats, he doesn't do anything. Imagine if he knew that he was on a 60-day cut doing 35 minutes of cardio every single morning. Do you think he might change his opinion a little? Bro, this is after 2 months of dieting. It's time to pick it up a notch. And so perhaps if Jay knew exactly what Sam Sulek is eating, his advice would have been, stop doing that. Maybe watch Coach Greg videos. You know that 5,000 plus calorie bulk? Yeah, enough of that. If Jay Cutler were coaching Sam Sulek, imagine how much better he would be. And I do believe that Sam would actually listen to him. He respects him. He's a former Mr. Olympia champion. But Coach Greg, he yaps a lot and sounds like the parrot from Aladdin. And so when Coach Greg says the exact same thing as Jay Cutler, not everyone listens. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Meanwhile, am I not 49? Was I not also an IFBB pro? And what is my conditioning at 49? Do I look eyed at 8% body fat? And so who do you think actually knows? And have I not written several freaking cookbooks? Do I not know what I'm doing? I've coached thousands of athletes and still do to this day. And so if you're interested in coaching, remember, from me and my team or just myself, click the link in the description. I still coach people to this day. Less competitors, of course, but I'm still coaching.
It's crazy because your midsection's his lower back's leaner than his midsection is. We don't get this shit till the very end. Like it's always, I held it here, you know?
Where you carry your body fat, it's genetic. And so Sam simply has more body fat in his abdominals than his lower back. Myself, when I was Sam's age, I got shredded in the abdominals first. I had crazy six-pack all the time, but what was slow for me to get conditioned was my legs, my lower half. Everybody's different, and so rather than looking at where you're the leanest, look at where are you the fattest. When trying to decide, are you ready to step on stage, look at the body fat that's carrying the most body fat and say, is that ready? If it's not, you're not ready. Keep dieting. And so if Mike Isertel had Coach Greg or perhaps Jay Cutler as coach, you really think he would have showed up out of shape, 6% body fat, trying to turn pro? Of course not. Would he have blamed his tan? Absolutely not. Why? Because he would have been conditioned. And why do you think that is? Because I would have said you're not ready. Keep dieting, Mike.
Thank you, Greg.
What do you mean 3,000 calories? You're eating 2,000 on a cheat day. Get on the friggin' step mill and do more cardio. Because I tell you what you need to hear. I'm not going to be there just to say, oh, you look amazing. No, I'm there to tell you the truth.
I'm happy to know that there's going to be a stage at the end of this, you know, so every promoter in the U.S. is going to be looking for him to come to the show.
It's official. He states every promoter in the United States is going to be gunning to get Sam Sulek to compete in their competition. And why do you think that is? The show's going to sell out. No matter where he competes at any price, the show is going to fill up, going to make tons of money for wherever he's competing.
It'll be my first time below 220 in years.
I know that was like me when I dieted down. I hadn't been that light since I was 16 years old, you know.
And so perhaps Sam Sulek is a bodybuilder. He's been training all this time. He's been dieting. He plans to compete. And so I do in fact believe at this point we can call Sam Sulek a bodybuilder. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. It's number 22 on trending. Go and check out the full video. Couldn't cover everything. You want to check this out right now. Interested in Transcend? Click the link in the description. If you need HRT, you need a doctor to go over your blood work, peptides and so on, be sure to click out and search out Transcend. And until next time, I am out.